Welcome to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. Grab yourself a slice, strap into the party wagon, and hang on tight. Give it up for your hosts, the Cowabunga Combo, Justin and Eric.
Welcome back to Epic Tales from the Sewers. Hopefully, your favorite Ninja Turtles podcast with our two hosts. I am Justin, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Eric Will. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing okay. How about you, Justin? How are you doing?
I'm excited,
Good.
man. We got another toy-centric episode. I'm super excited. My wife is scared, so she's she knows that I'm going to be talking about Ninja Turtles toys. So But this is a big one for us. Our guest tonight is a toy hunter and author. He also sometimes goes by Prince Pixor of Toyfar, which is his canonic name in the Masters of the Universe comic universe. He has written the definitive book on collecting Motu Masters of the Universe action figures called The Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. His new book is available for pre-order right now called The Toys of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1988 through 1993. Please welcome our guest, Pixel Dan.
Hey
You
guys,
like that,
thank
huh?
you. That was nice, man. That was a great intro. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. We're all huge turtle heads, and I mean,
Yeah,
you can see
heck
I'm
yeah.
all action figured. I've got my turtles over here, and mostly Batman and Hellboy and Fraggle Rock over there. So,
Love it.
yeah, good stuff. Eric's got a fair amount as well. So we're fans of your work, we could say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that.
So, as a kind of like a big time toy hunter, what's your origin story like with action figures? I figure we may have to go back to Masters of the Universe first on this one because I'm guessing we're
Yeah.
of the same vintage. So,
I was gonna
Motu
say
comes first. Yeah,
there's no avoiding He-Man, unfortunately, in these conversations. Yeah, that's definitely where it starts for me because so I was born in 82, which
Okay.
coincidentally is the same year He-Man was born, because that's the year the action figure line came out. But of course, the Filmation animated series came out a few years later, and I was right at the right age to get hooked by that. And it's one of those things that I shared with my mom because my mom and me watched He-Man together.
Oh yeah.
She bought me all the toys together. We saw Secret of the Sword at the theater together, the live action movie. So Masters of the Universe was like my first toy love. It was the first fandom, I guess, I was part of growing up as a kid. But with Masters winding down in 87, that was right in time for something else to rise up in
Yeah.
1988,
Yep.
which I was the perfect age for.
6 years old, probably
So
going
Ninja,
into
yeah.
first grade, right?
So Ninja Turtles became it at that point. So He-Man was my earliest love, but Turtles dominated a lot of my childhood. That was a big portion of it. And as you guys know, like I don't think anybody that didn't live during that era really understands just like the hold that Turtles had on
Oh
all
yeah.
of us back then. I mean, it was massive. It was so cool. So Turtles and He-Man were my childhood. And I fell out of toys in my teens, like I feel like is a pretty common story with a lot of us. And the thing that kind of lured me back to toys was in 95 when the Star Wars Power of the Force figures came out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I always kind of make the joke that I feel like in some shape or form Star Wars seems to be the gateway drug to toy collecting for a lot of people. Right? Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So I was a teenager. I was in high school, but I really wanted those Star Wars figures. Like I was seeing them in store and I was really drawn to them. So of course I became like, well, I'm a collector. So I bought them and kept them in the package and hung them on the wall in my bedroom. And so that was like my the late 90s was all about those Star Wars figures as I was, finishing up high school and everything. And then
You're all
in
excited because you got like the special edition log ray from Kenner,
oh,
and
dude, it was insane the way like I would be hunting for that stuff too. And like the internet was like brand new at that time, right? For a
Yep.
lot of us. So I started like that was my first introduction to peeking into like people talking about that kind of stuff and learning about like the weird variants. Like there's a Boba Fett with only half a circle painted on his hand. I gotta find that, weird stuff like that. So it was really starting to like I was becoming a toy collector, right? Even if I didn't know quite what that was yet, that's what was happening. And then in 2000 is when the He-Man commemorative series figures came out.
Yep.
And that was like, oh my God. Cause like that brought it all back. Like that was like, that's my childhood. That's nostalgia. And like, this was back when Walmart still had layaway. And I didn't,
Oh, no
and I
kidding.
was like, yeah, right. So this was 2000. I was fresh out of high school. I wasn't making a lot of money. So I found all those He-Man figures at Walmart and I put them all on layaway.
Oh, that's
and I paid them
like
off.
super smart. Yeah.
Until I could get them. So I feel like that feels like the first like real moment of like, oh my God, I gotta have these. And then that it just took off from there because then it was suddenly I'm on eBay all the time, rebuying my old Ninja Turtles toys, rebuying my old He-Man toys, getting into all the new stuff. Marvel Legends came out shortly after that. The Motu relaunch of the 2002 series, Turtles relaunch of the 2003 series. It was all over at that point, right? Like that was it. I was full on in. I was
Floodgates
a
are
toy
open,
collector.
so
Yep,
that
floodgates
leads
are
to
open.
like Club Eternia and all that, like in that Matty collector era. So
Yeah.
DC
Yep.
Universe Classics. Yeah, man, I was all about that too.
That's when they started noticing that there was like a collector market, right? So things were really starting to be aimed directly at us and targeting our nostalgia, and they've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
So with the original Masters of the Universe, you wrote a whole book on it. With this, what was something that was kind of like unique about Masters of the Universe that maybe the layman may not know?
Ooh, so I guess Masters of the Universe is kind of and maybe a lot of people do realize this at one point, but Masters of the Universe as a toy line debuted before there was media to go with it. It was a line of action figures for about 2 years before that Filmation cartoon came out, and it was in fact it along with Transformers were the first toy lines to get a cartoon series, which in
I
turn
think
was
they
like
legally had to produce it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because that was right around the time that the laws changed and it made it so that that could happen because what they had to do though is there had to be some sort of educational value to it, which is why you have the morals at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And I think there were rules where they couldn't technically put like He-Man toy commercials airing during that cartoon. Now, certainly other toy lines got advertised during the cartoon, right? But the cartoon itself was an advertisement for those toys. And it's one of those things where you look at it nowadays, it's like everything has to be based on some form of media to get a toy line, right? Like
Yeah, it's
toy
kind of
lines. Yeah, it's opposite now. Like, and that was one of the things like, it's such a mixed feeling for me in the sense that like obviously I love the He-Man cartoon and the Ninja Turtles cartoon and all that stuff is amazing and I'm glad we got all that stuff. But I do feel like there was a lot more I don't even want to say creativity because there's so many creative toy makers out there today, but it felt like there was a lot more leeway to put random things in toy stores to see what would
Oh
sell
yeah,
without
absolutely.
it having to have a like a cartoon or a movie associated with it.
They sold
Like,
us robots that turned into rocks.
I mean, yeah, Rockwoods. I mean, like I got all these Inhumanoids behind me,
Yeah.
like walking into the toy store in the 80s and 90s was so different than it is now because it was one of those times where like you never knew what you were going to find. there was always something new to discover, and it was exciting. And you didn't always like having a cartoon was cool, but you didn't always need that. Sometimes it was just about like finding the cool toy and look at the artwork on the package and reading the bio on the back to learn about these characters. And like I feel like that is something that still kind of exists in the indie toy world, but certainly isn't as prominent in toy stores like Walmart and Target being kind of our only options for toys these days. They don't have a lot of dedicated space. So they want to make sure the things they put in there are things they're going to sell. So of course it's just all the same old stuff, right? It's always Hot Wheel, it's always Barbie, it's always Marvel, it's always, Transformers, Turtles, all cool stuff. But I miss the originality of the 80s and 90s sometimes.
It's funny because it's kind of like it's flip-flopped a little bit. Like I remember when Monster High came out, right? And my kids were like really into it and all that. I'm like, wow, this is so unique and everything. Like that was like this avenue. And I'm like, well, there's different avenues that they're going into because they see that, oh, well, Barbie sell. What if we had a fashion doll? And if you look at like, I know this is a tangent, Eric, I'm sorry. But if you look at like the toys that are like the top, 10 sellers, like the majority of them are like, girls fashion doll toys. Like, and I say girls, but it's for anybody, but like that sort of thing. And it's like the difference between that and like the next closest thing, or even Lego, which is like fifth down the line, is staggering. I don't know if you guys know this, but Tamagotchi still outsells like almost every toy out there.
That's wild. I had no idea.
Blow your mind?
That is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I just did all this research on toys and stuff. And we were talking about like Care Bears and Cabbage Patch and all that. And it's like, oh my God, you'd think like Barbie would be huge up there, but it's like, no, the company that does Bratz is like huge. And Rainbow Girls or whatever it is. Like, it's like, wow, they sell that well. I thought that was like clearance stuff. Nope. So
that's wild. Yeah.
So creativity is the end. So Masters of the Universe, creativity. I remember having a book on record with like this crazy song at the end where it's like, the story ends and, you hear the sound of the chime and then you change the page. And then at the end, they have this whole song at the end. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's crazy because there's nothing like that right now. Now it's like,
that stuff.
Go on and get the app or go on and get this. And you can play as your favorite character. It's like, well, we had that. And I had to go to the library to get that, or like I had like my one cousin that had it or something,
Books on tape and books on record. Yeah. Like even like the Talon Fighter and Point Dread playset came with a record. Like a record was packaged with that toy that like told the story of this amazing playset that you just bought. Like stuff like that was so immersive back then when we were kids. It really built out the world for us.
Now I'm going to hit you with a deep question here because as and then I'll move on to turtle stuff. But we know you're a personality. You've got a nice voice and all that. If you were to vocalize, if you were going to do a character from Masters of the Universe, what character would you do the voice of?
So I feel like
tell me it's Goatman.
Goatman. That's a good one. But along the same vein, I feel like my answer has to be Mosquitor. Because he's nice. Like he's my favorite toy from the original line, and he's never appeared in any animation. So he's never had a voice. He's never had a voice. And I've often thought like what he would sound like. And I'm not like a voice. I don't think I could do voices, but I feel like he would have to have kind of like that high buzzy, like, you think about a mosquito buzzing in your
like
ear,
right? Merman
so there would have to be
Montana.
Yeah, right. Because Merman's got that, he always had that real bubbly voice. So like Mosquitor would have to be very exaggerated like that with like the high pitch, like this when he's talking. I just don't know. I don't know.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm loving it. Eric, who would you be? You give off Ram Man vibes.
Ram Man.
I don't know, man. It's, I don't know. I feel like I'd be more into the bad guy more than anything.
Yeah, the bad guy's always cooler.
I don't know why. Like I get the vibe of Skeletor. I don't know why. I just
yeah.
I would crush Goatman.
Do it. What's your Goatman voice sound like?
Oh well, he's mute. No, it's good.
You would crush it. Yeah.
No, I love all those old voices, like where you
Oh,
have
yeah.
Alan Oppenheimer and all that doing
Oh, he's
that.
the
I'll
best.
get you buffoon. And you
Yeah,
got like
boobs.
Skeletor, like Beastman, and they were
So
just the
good.
best.
Those are good
I love that
impressions.
stuff. That's what we do here, man. So
Yeah,
that's
I
why we
love it.
ask. So, you must have been a fan of the Masters of the Universe crossover with Turtles. Then, did you get a chance to read the comic?
So I haven't read the I have the first issue and I wanted to pick up the rest before I read through it, but I haven't read the full issue. I've only read like the mini comics that come with the toys.
The fourth
Is
one came out, so all of them
so
have come out.
I
You
need
can
to
go through the
grab them.
whole
So
thing.
yeah.
We won't
That's
spoil it. We won't spoil it.
no, that's good. That's good. The story
We'll
was
just
what
tell
was
you,
interesting
it
to
was good.
me.
Yeah,
Was it good? Good.
I liked
Good.
it a lot. Yeah,
Good.
I think the only one so far that I've liked more than that is the crossover of Stranger Things, which should not have worked, but was friggin' amazing.
Cool. That's cool.
So, but I'll tell you, the funny thing is, we got advanced copies because our good friend Mike Ruth was a cover artist on one of them, and we went to
Nice.
Granite State Con last year. We picked up a copy, and there we were the next morning in our hotel room, sitting like two little kids reading the comic next to each other, and I'm going, "Oh!" and he's like, "Dude, it's so
That's the
fun."
best.
Yeah,
That's the best.
it was awesome.
But we also did have a little birdie tell us that this series was actually going to happen in a comic book. I mean,
We did know.
yeah, we kind of did know that. I mean,
Nice.
It is pretty fun. So that's probably all I'll ask you about Masters of the Universe. It's just that's always been an important one for me too. Going back, like it's a little rough watching them, but I still
Yeah.
love the rotoscope, and like the
Yeah.
opening is so iconic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the transformation scene will
Oh
always
yeah,
get me. Like always. It doesn't matter how silly or corny that show is. When he transforms, it's like I'm a kid every time, you know.
I go back to like there's two things about that movie, like the live action movie I love, which is Sarad
Oh,
and Blade.
mm,
Like those two
mhm.
characters, I'd be like, write me a movie about those two characters. And I know Sarad died, but like
I was so bummed when Sarad died. I loved Sarad as a kid. I thought he was the coolest looking of
yeah,
all the new
absolutely.
characters in the movie. I loved his toy.
Yep.
And then when he died, I was like, what?
You're like, what the hell is
What?
this? So
No.
yeah, and Blade was so cool. I was glad when they came out with that special edition. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
something for me. There's all kinds of stuff for me, but
It's all for yeah. Everything's
all
for
of it's for me. So
everything's for you.
well, let's see what I have. So we talked about your origin story. So getting into Turtles and all that at that formative age. So the cartoon was kind of a gateway for you. Let's talk about your first Ninja Turtles toys that you got there. Did you start out with everything like He-Man? Were you soft heads? Like, how did that work?
So my very first figure, I can still remember the day that I got it. Very first figure was Donatello, 88
Okay.
Donatello. And I remember it was a summer day and we were shopping at a Hills department store. I don't know if anybody remembers Hills. You're in Midwest with me. Did you guys have
Yeah, but
Hills up in
I'm a
Chicago?
Connecticut guy, so I mean,
Oh, so you're okay. So
at that
Hills
point, I
was
was looking at Bradley's or Caldor. So
sure. Okay, so Hills would be like a Midwest type Caldor type
okay,
store, I think is the best way. It was amazing. The thing I always remember about them was their toy section was like unmatched. It was
well, we have
such a
Meyer
good.
now. Meyer's pretty cool.
We had
hmm
yeah, Meyer's cool.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of toy shopping at Hills when I was younger, when it was here, and I remember it was a summer day, and I remember my mom pulling it off the shelf and showing it to me and going, "Look at this, Ninja Turtles. Do you like this?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is really cool." And she bought it for me. And I always specifically remember that it was a summer day because I remember it was one of those days where we ran in town, we did a bunch of errands, then we came home and like we set up one of those like little kiddie swimming pools in the
Oh yeah.
backyard and
Yep.
like I played in the pool and then came inside for lunch and my mom laid a beach towel down in the living room, gave me lunch, turned on the TV and then gave me my new Donatello figure and I sat there and opened it and played with it while watching TV. Like that is burned in my memory. It's amazing. Like I
You're
I
like, what the
remember
hell is this hook thing?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this. I'm certain I lost those extra weapons immediately. Like on
You're
the
like,
little,
this one
yeah,
looks like a
yeah,
weird slice of pizza,
yeah. What
and
is this
then
thing?
yeah.
But that was like I got hooked real fast because once I got that one, I fell in love, and it could not have been very long before I had at least all 4 of the main, the turtles, and then Christmases from that point forward. Like the next several years, Christmases were turtle Christmases. Like that's what I got. So it was cool. It was a cool time.
It was neat. I remember when all that stuff was coming out, and I think I had gotten like the first 3, and I didn't have a Michelangelo, and I ended up getting a Michelangelo like for my birthday, like a couple months later or something. But to this day, my Michelangelo has 2 left feet. And
Oh,
if I had left him in the box or something like that, because he's a soft head with 2 left legs, I still have him. He's just hanging out with his 2 left
that is
legs.
so wild.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I was wondering if you'd have run into anything. Was that a production error, or was it just like a one-off? Or
It's got to be just a factory error, and
Yeah.
that stuff happens, right? They just got assembled wrong in the factory, but that certainly makes for a unique piece.
Oh yeah,
If you have
I mean,
on card, that would have been really cool.
yeah.
Just,
Well,
I mean, it was your childhood one, so obviously you opened it,
exactly.
but-
Yeah. So I'm still holding on to him. He still doesn't stand up well. Well, I'll
He's
tell you
special.
guys. I don't know how it was for you, but with my Michelangelo and all that, I was absolutely adamant that nobody was touching my nunchucks. Nobody. No, I'm not touching these. I'm leaving them like that. They're going to be cherry. Sure enough, my friend comes
Oh,
over and breaks them. And
yeah,
it's
mine
like,
broke too. You know what
just
else?
crazy.
I always remember my first Raphael figure that I had as a kid because he was a soft head.
Yep.
The mouth split. So like
Oh wow.
there was just literally a split in the mouth. Like I could squeeze his head and make it look like he was talking because like
That's
it
kind
would
of
like
cool,
open.
actually.
So like yeah, and like it didn't ever bother me as a kid because I'd be like rah 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 rah. But that it just played with it so much. Yeah.
That's one of those funny things too. Like when they replaced them with the hard heads, I thought it was better. I'm like, I kind of like this a lot better where it's like you've got like that. I don't have to worry about like, oh, his head came off or something like that. Cause that did happen occasionally with them. And,
Yeah.
like if you ever got them wet or something, it would get like water in there. So what's your take on that? Do you like the soft heads better than the hard heads?
I think I only like as a collector in the sense that like yeah these are the original releases, right?
Yeah.
But I think you're right about the hard heads being the better versions, and that's the exact reason they made the switch. Like they made the switch because they're more durable and they're going to last, and that's why all the other figures in the rest of the line are hard heads, right? That was like a course correction very early on in the line. So I definitely think the hard heads were the better made toys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The soft heads are always going to be like collector, like yeah, these are the originals.
Is there a particular turtle that they made too many of that it's like somewhere there's a landfill like full of the ET Atari game, but it's just this one particular turtle? Like, is there any of those out there?
I don't think there's like one turtle that has too many because they've got to, except for Donatello, they've got to be pretty equal, right? Like, because I think the 3, I mean, they made a lot of Donnies in the original line.
I feel
too.
like the sewer swimming Donnie would be that guy where it's like,
oh man, there's so many of him. You're totally
he's always
right.
broken.
He's always broken and he's everywhere. You're totally right.
Well, I was just wondering if you ran across anything like that in your you're writing the book and all that, your research.
No,
you're like, oh, it seems like they just completely overproduced this one, and
That's a great question, but like I don't think there's anything like that really stands out to me. What's funny, and I mean if we want to kind of pivot to that sort of conversation, but what I found funny is when I was traveling to doing photography, because I relied on a lot of fans in the Turtles community, just like I did with the He-Man book. Like that's one thing I'm really proud of with these books is they're a community effort. Like I can't do this alone. And so many people came together to help me for the He-Man one and now doing the same thing for the Turtles one. So I traveled a lot and visited collectors based on recommendations. I have to give a massive shout out, obviously, to John Coleman, who basically was my right-hand man through this whole book. He had so much stuff and so much knowledge.
wow.
But the thing that I thought was so funny is while I'm traveling along with my checklist, checking things off, making sure we're getting everything photographed, it was so much easier to photograph the rare stuff than it was the common stuff because every collector has the rare stuff. There's so like every collector's like, here's my scratch, here's my hot spot, here's my troll turtles, here's my trench coats, here's my this. And it's like, cool, I need all of these random turtle variants. I need the mutations figures. Oh, I don't buy those. And then and then like the vehicles, especially the vehicles was the hardest thing for me to complete.
Really?
And I totally get that because like, well, vehicles, think about it as a collector. Vehicles take up a lot of space in your collection, right? They take up a lot of shelf space. And there are so many vehicles in the Turtles line. It's kind of nuts. So that was literally like the last thing that we were tracking down is like all of the vehicles, especially because they all have so many stickers and so many accessories, and making sure that you're getting the best looking piece you can get of it to photograph. It was the biggest challenge, was tracking down the vehicles. Like rare stuff I nailed at the beginning of the project. It was the common vehicles that were the hardest thing to track down and photograph.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Because I mean, I had read. We were talking about this offline, but the Rad Plastic book by Chris Fawcett. And I didn't know about
excellent
like the
book.
jet. You know, the like the bubble jet that dropped like the smoke bomb. Like
Oh,
I had no idea about that thing.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it. You know, and
I
I'm
know.
like, oh, this is crazy. You know,
I didn't know about that until I was a collector. I certainly never
Yeah.
saw that one as a kid, but I love the
definitely not.
idea. Like it comes with that little solution
Mhm.
so that like it just like fills the bubbles with smoke and like they drop and pop and you get the little smoke plume. It's really cool.
Huh.
It's
And,
really
and there's
cool.
some, it's like it seems like everybody had a cheap skate, everybody had a foot ski, so it's like I imagine those are like, oh, okay, those are dime a dozen, but you know, then like
Right.
what about like, oh, well, I think you had a Technodrome, but you know,
I had a Technodrome, right? But it was like so things like what the Psycho Cycle got
oh
released
yeah,
3 different times as 3 different vehicles where they just kind of changed the colors and like made it for a different character in a sense, which was something I didn't realize until we were really photographing. And then like the little vulture that sits on it, like sometimes he's
yeah,
glued on and sometimes he's a removable little buddy accessory, and it's like things like that is what was so interesting to me while we were going through. And again, like John was a huge help in that department because that man knows his variants. So
really.
he
Well,
was
he wrote the book, so
yeah, that's right. That well, so yeah, we got to talk about that too, because that's why that book came about, was because while we were going through this, like obviously, and I'm sorry if I'm like hijacking this and going straight into the book stuff.
this
Already, but
this is literally what this show's about.
okay. so
What we do?
the main book.
Oh, we're losing you again.
We're losing you. No.
Give it a tap.
Tap, 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 tap. Fade it out.
Just tap it in.
Just all right, go ahead, try. Nope, still sounds weird.
Oh, sounds weird. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's
That's right.
I sound like I'm in the water right now.
Move your mouse, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm like checking my connection here. Can you guys hear me now? Is it better?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh man.
Let's see.
I got full signal. This is really weird.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
You're back.
Is it better? Okay.
Yep.
You're better now.
All right. Sorry.
Probably a loose
I guess
connection or something.
I was gonna say the connection must be going in and out a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right. So the book. The main book, it's very similar to the Masters of the Universe book, if you guys have picked that up. But the whole point is essentially to be a guide to all the released items in the toy line. So all the action figures, all the vehicles, all the play sets. So every figure gets a 2-page spread in this book that has like a nice glamour shot of the figure as like the big main picture with his accessories and everything. Then you get turnarounds of the figure. You get accessory shots broken apart so you can see all the accessories. You get an action feature demonstration if there's an action feature, and then you get shots of the card backs. But one of the other things we wanted to make sure we're doing is if there are notable variants, we want to show the notable variants, right?
There we go.
And this
So
this is great. And the funny thing about this is like this page isn't complete yet because it doesn't have the variants on it yet, but we want to make sure that we're showing variants when there's notable variants on here. The thing is like the variant, like it's a bottomless pit, right? Like it's like there's so much stuff, and I want to make sure that we can fit as much as we can in here without taking up too much space, without cluttering it. And I want it to be like a really good guide, but sometimes there's just so much stuff with the variants that's like you gotta kind of like. Sometimes I think we have to only show the like really, really notable ones, and then maybe just mention there's also this card back variant and this card back variant, whatever.
Which makes sense, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we were piecing all this together, and like John is like compiling this incredible list of variants, we kind of got to this point where we were like, we should publish that too. Like, because people will care about that. Like, there's collectors that will want that information. So that's why, in addition to this main book, John, we're like, and it's written by John Coleman. It's like we're crediting it fully to him, but it's an optional like add-on book for an extra $20. You get this amazing separate book that's like a list guide to all the variants, all the known variants in this toy line. And then it's also going to have like, it's mostly like a black and white list because it's meant to be like a reference, like a collector's use it when you're out collecting or hunting, and you reference like a
go to the toy show and
but it also will have a section in the middle with some full color pages showing you a bunch of the card back variants that exist for the toys.
Oh, nice.
So it is a really awesome companion to this book. Like, so the main book is still going to have variant information in there, but if you really want to get deep with it and in the nitty gritty and you care about that stuff, you should also pick up John's book, which is at the same website here. They're being pre-ordered together, because then you'll get all that information too. It's
so
awesome.
How many pizza points does it cost to get your book?
We should have set something up like that. Yeah. Send me some pizza points. So the main book is $69.99 is the price for the book, and that's over 600 pages. It covers everything. I'm sorry, what was that?
Your mic is going out again.
Oh my gosh, I hate that. I'm so sorry.
With a tap, maybe.
Tap.
It must just be something with StreamYard. So it seems to be just coming and going. So so for the audio listeners right now, I put up a page of the book up here. It's Mondo Gecko, so we can see here, and it shows the card back in like mint on card, and then the back of it, and it's got like a bio. It shows all the accessories and just kind of like front, side, back versions of Mondo. It's really cool looking, vibrant yellow color.
Thank you. Yeah. And is my audio sounding okay now?
No, not yet.
Let me try. Hold on. Try some here.
Oh, now you try it. I think you're back.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to switch to one of my other routers to see if that fixes the problem. I'm sorry. It's
all good, man.
It's all good, man.
It's like every time I think I got this all good, it's like something else.
There's always going to be technical difficulties. Always happens.
Yeah, it's podcasting, you know.
All right,
yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We'll keep it rolling in the meantime. So, you know, we'll make it work. But yeah, I mean the book looks great. Like there's a couple pages here. I've got the Mondo one. Let's see. I'll pull up the other one, which was I think I of course pulled out the Leonardo one. Big surprise. So let's see if I can.
The one's a good example too, because that'll actually show the variants and stuff on here.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So here you can see we've got the comparison, like hard head, soft head. So it kind of gives you the turnarounds too to show how you can see the difference between a hard head and a soft head. And then if you look at the weapon breakdown up there, you'll notice that it shows the Ninja Star variants, because there is a pointed star and a rounded tip star.
I had no idea. I just thought they were all round.
Yeah. So it shows the two different types up there. And then down under the card back over there, you can see that little list. It looks a little hard to read on the screen probably, but that kind of breaks down the different card back variants that you could find for this particular figure. Like the one we have a picture of here is the one that has the pop-up display in it. So it's got that little burst on there that says, hey kids, Mutant pop-up display included.
Oh, cool.
Because the 10 packs here, especially this first wave, like those got reissued a whole bunch. And so there's so many different card back variations of these original 10 figures. But that's kind of what I was talking about, where we wanted to make sure we, like, at least, at the very least, if we can't squeeze photos in, we want to make sure we're listing it so people can see, oh, there's all these variants that exist. And try to
It looks fantastic, and I mean, just
Thank
to be able to look at like the regular mint on card back, like where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this one's not ripped up, or there's anything like someone didn't cut the pizza point out or anything. It's gorgeous, and that
Yeah.
original artwork is just fantastic. It's
so good.
iconic.
Iconic, absolutely. It's so good. And you see how we even demonstrated like the weapons rack? Like so many
Yeah.
people didn't realize that the little sprue thing is meant to be a weapons rack for the toy. And they don't work great, but that's what it's supposed to be. And so we kind of tried to do a little bit of photography to show how you could maybe lay the weapons on the weapons rack there. So yeah, we had some fun with these, and then of course the written part is basically like me reviewing all the toys. So it's like a nice little write-up of all the figures in there as well that goes along with it. So we're doing our very best to be as thorough as possible. We've taken thousands of photos. So it's all original photography, all touched up really nice by my partner on the book, Val Staples, and some other team members we've got that are really good at photo restorations, just to make sure everything looks as crisp and nice as
It looks beautiful.
Yeah,
it does.
It looks great. Like this is.
It does look great. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's about as good as I can get it. But I mean, it definitely looks crisp, and it's yeah. I mean,
awesome,
beautiful sight. Too bad we don't have a Raphael one though.
Don't have what?
Don't have a Raphael one that you're going to put up.
Yeah, I think the other one he sent was Worm, so that was the other one. So but it's it's really nice, and it is different because we were talking about rad plastic. It's definitely different because that's more of like the inception of it, the build of them and all that. So this one's different. It's cool. Like
it's great too. I love rad plastic. I interviewed Chris when he was first putting that book out, and we actually talked about this book because I was working on this book at the time. His book is like because I get asked this a lot, like what's the difference between this and rad plastic? And the difference is basically what you said. Like Chris's book is sort of like the art of designing the toy line, right? Mm-hmm. And it's got a lot of prototype stuff in there and never before seen stuff, and concept pieces and unreleased stuff. Like, and that's kind of the focus of his book. His is like tells a story and shows all this amazing art that went into creating the toy line. My book is a reference to everything that was released. So every item that got released has a page in the book and it shows what it is. So both great books that serve different purposes for the same amazing toy line.
So this is an interesting question that I came up with because you've now seen everything that Playmates has to offer. They have some really unconventional accessories over the years. What's the strangest or most surprising accessory that you've seen from the line?
Oh my goodness! Oh, put me on the spot. Let me see.
You can think about it if you want to. So
I'm kind of looking. So I love, and this is something, and I feel like these have kind of come a lot. These have gotten a lot more popular the last couple of years with collectors, but I really, really fell in love with the Adventure Series turtles, specifically the deep sea diver Leonardo with the big octopus. That one is amazing because, first of all, the big squishy octopus that's like a water squirter buddy that's clinging onto him is hilarious. But I also love the head sculpt on that figure because he looks like he's holding his breath, like he's wearing like scuba gear, but he's got his big puffy cheeks and he's holding his breath, and it's just the weirdest, most unconventional like head sculpt I feel like in all of the turtle variants. I mean, there's some funky ones out there. But I love that one so much, and he became one of my favorites. Which I'm looking at him because he's over here in my case because I made sure I got one for my collection after that. And I also really, really love. This isn't like I wouldn't put this in like the weird category. I know that's what you asked, but I love the warrior winged Donatello and Leonardo figures.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here talking about stuff that's not even in this book because it's like at the end of the line, so it's like it'll be volume 2. Hint, hint. I've been photographing everything, but like those, there's something about those I love, especially the Donatello, because he's like all black. He's like a jet black figure with the purple of his bandana, but then like the metallics, like chrome silver armor and the wings. Like he just looks so cool.
Yeah, they're so metal.
So metal, yeah, and it's a weird variant. There's so many variants of the turtles in this line, but that's just one that I look at and I go, yeah, that's just awesome. Like whoever created that is like that's good stuff, man. I love it.
Now you've mentioned Donatello quite a few times. I have to believe that you're a Raphael guy.
I am a Raphael guy, isn't that weird? You know what the funny thing is like like purple is like one of my favorite colors. So I've always been drawn to purple and black together, especially.
Yeah, purple and black. Yeah.
Purple and black looks so good on toys. So anytime there's like a toy that's got those colors, I love like Warrior Wing Donatello. Like obviously,
Yeah. Yep.
I just think he looks so cool. So it is really funny that like I always say Raph's my favorite, and I think that's just because as a kid I was a Raph kid, I was a Wolverine kid. Apparently, I was into the grumpy, angry guys, right? I don't know why, because that's not my personality. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But I like Donnie's style. I like the purple.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on there, and you know, a lot of people would tell me that they're Donnie fans specifically because of the video games. You know, and just playing there. So I get that.
That's right.
Donnie was the best in the first 2 games for sure, hands down.
For sure.
We were talking about variants earlier. In your book or on your videos, like if you've seen some of these variants or prototypes or even like packaging oddities, have you ever come across anything and then you're like, "Yep, that's now canon." You know, like that Boba Fett that had like the half painted circle, that's now canon. Is there anything that exists like that for you with all the hunting that you've done?
Ooh, that like I've kind of put a stamp on.
Yeah, and now you're like, yeah, that's the thing.
I think, and I'm going to give all credit to John on this, right? But I'm pretty sure that's what John's kind of hoping this book is going to do for a lot.
Oh, okay, all right.
Variants, because he's been working real hard on that, and he also works a lot with a lot of the other fans. Like he's making sure that like his information is matching other people's. And the cool thing about variants is there's always like somebody always knows about something that we haven't heard of, right? So he's trying to compile the best list possible. We've had some discussions about some things where we always have I call them, they're not arguments, but we do have like back and forth sometimes where he's like, look, this is definitely a variant. And I go, no, it's not. That's just, because there's always that fine line, right? Like, is it a variant or is it just like, did the factory not use enough of that color that day? And maybe it's a little, like, is it really a variant or, it's hard to like, what's the line? What is
Was it a
variant?
mistake? Was it a mess up? Yeah, I get
So
it.
one of the ones that he was very excited by was Metalhead, because we have found some versions of Metalhead where the eyes are clear instead of the red. Like they didn't put the red. It's almost like they just didn't put the red dye in the clear brain and eye piece for the light piping, and it's more clear than it is red. And for a while, like he kept showing me pictures, and I was like, I don't know. I think it's just faded. I don't think that's really a variant. But he ended up getting a hold of one that is just straight like crystal clear. It is like you can tell that it's clear. So I was like, okay, I think you're right. We'll put it in there. So like he was really proud of that one. He's really proud of that one. And
Yeah, I would think so. And I mean, that's one that it's if there's more than one of it out there, it's got to make sense as a variant, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's found more than one. Yeah, because that's always the question. Like, is it a variant or was it a factory error? Like your Mikey with the 2 legs, like.
Yeah, is it just a factory error? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always because we want to make sure that or as accurate as possible too. We don't want to just like make up a bunch of stuff, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Look like we're making up a bunch of stuff. So that's why I have to have these kind of arguments with John sometimes, where I'm like, all right, let's not get carried away.
In this community, Dan, I mean, come on. It's like where people will step over someone to get like a grappling hook that was a part of a action figure. Yeah. It's a dangerous, it's like Wild West out there,
It's crazy. Yeah, but we do our best to make sure we're like basing it all on reality. We're trying to find as many facts as we can before we're like, yeah, this is definitely a variant. Let's put it in there. So
have you run into any criticisms or anything in your work? Like, is there anything that's kind of like gotten in the way of something? Like you said, maybe like an argument about like a variant or not? Anything that's kind of like been an obstacle?
No, not in as far as like making this goes. I don't think. Like we definitely. Because I won't even call them arguments. We have disagreements sometimes, and it's one of those things where like I always want to like. I need to surround myself with toy fans who are going to have differing opinions, right?
Sure.
Because I need to hear that stuff sometimes, and if I am wrong about something, I want to be told I'm wrong about something. But vice versa. Like I also need to be able to go, okay, hold on, I don't want to do it that way. I think we need to, but we always have really good discussions about it. John has been an excellent partner on this, and of course, Val
That's awesome.
was my partner on the Motu book as well. Like we all work together really, really well. So we haven't had any like real obstacles, I wouldn't say. So
Well, you are known for your fair reviews, so that's the thing. It's like even-handed, reviews where it's like, it doesn't seem like you're beholden to like NECA or something like that, because it's like, you're like, hey, I like this, but there's the drawback. Here's the comparison, like that sort of stuff like that.
I always
So
do my best. I always do my best. So, like, because if there's something I don't like, I make sure I tell people I don't like it. That doesn't mean that other people won't like it, and I understand.
I
that,
fully
you know what I
agree.
mean? And so, like, I always try to keep it like balanced. Yeah.
Do you collect all the current versions of like everything that's coming out with Turtles? Do you get like literally everything, or?
No.
Yeah, thank God.
I tapped out a long time ago. It just got to be too much. I cherry pick a lot of it now. There's so much good stuff, and gosh, man, even just with the stuff we just saw at Comic-Con, like I am. If we're talking about the NECA stuff, I'm so into the 2012 figures that they're doing.
Oh yeah, those looked amazing.
I'm so into the Stan Sakai turtles that they're doing. Like so much of that stuff looks so good. But gosh, we all have so many turtles toys.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people fatigued about the Toon line and all that, but I think like if that's for you, stick with it. Like just go with it. It's like if that's what you want to get. Like I'm an Archie guy. Like I go after Archie and Last Ronin. I don't go after the movie stuff, but I do go after the monsters because those are amazing. But it's you gotta cherry pick.
Well, that's the good thing about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
There are so many options out there. And between all of the toy companies doing turtles, they're all doing different eras and different versions.
Yeah.
So there's something out there for everybody. Like you don't have to buy all of it. Buy the stuff that appeals to you.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool that
I agree.
those options.
Did you get the Super 7 2003 series of Turtles?
I didn't.
No, you didn't. Yeah, I didn't get them either.
I keep like hearing such
Sorry,
good
Jay.
things about them. Yeah, I keep hearing such good things about them, and they look really cool. And I also just like I want to support the fact that we're finally getting something new for the 2K3 era.
Yes.
It's just there's just been so much stuff, and like I'm picking and choosing what I'm buying. So I haven't yet, but I probably will at some point.
Yeah, I did that with the Masters of the Universe line. Like, there's a couple that were like super choice, and I'm like, I am definitely getting this April O'Neil, as the sorceress, and
Yeah, that's rad.
like some of these I had to get, when I saw them, but maybe I didn't get the Casey, or the Man at Arms or stuff. It's like, all right, I got 14 Skeletors. Maybe I didn't need that one, but I got the Shredder one, that's like Shredder Skeletor, so.
Did you get the one on the throne, the Comic-Con version?
I did.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
rad. I like
yeah,
that.
he's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I think he's glow in the dark too. All that like fun stuff, like not quite scare glow, but
Hmm.
Swappable heads. And
Oh
noise
yeah.
from
I'm
his
like, come on, guys, what are you doing to me? I'm still over here waiting for my goat man. So I know they did a good filmation version of him. So but I remember seeing him in those early paintings and all that. I'm like, who's this guy? And then he's a nothing burger.
So he's going to be in the new live action movie.
Is he real? Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
He-
I love Kevin Smith put him in Revelations. So
It's such a weird, obscure character to suddenly be getting all kinds of love from all these different media projects. It's funny. I'm like,
well, it's that and like Clamp Champ, and I'm like, oh wow, well they killed him pretty quick.
yeah, he never appeared in the original cartoon. That was like his first animated appearance.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was in like the Christmas special or something. So
Not Clamp Champ. No.
oh. So you're excited about the Stan Sakai ones? They look really good.
It looks so
I saw
cool.
some really cool stuff coming out of Mondo. Mondo looked awesome. I saw your video on that. The 1/6 scale Donatello looks amazing.
Yeah,
That looks crazy.
I love the story with that. Like, did you hear them tell the story of like what that toy line is?
Yeah, like they were writing essays about like what the world looks like, and it's all '90s technology, and it's this really big like they're like, oh, it's gonna be the Mondoverse. I'm like, oh, that's so cool that they're letting them do that.
They're essentially like writing a story that takes place in the movie universe after those movies. And they're kind of saying like, what if that Shredder, the movie Shredder, met Krang and
Yeah.
got the Dimension X stuff? And so like now it's the movie universe with Krang and the Dimension X stuff happening, and that's what they're doing. And they got full like approval from Viacom to just go on with it. So they're just creating like a new movie essentially with their toys. Like that's really cool.
I think it's great. Like and the sculpts look amazing. I thought and Eric, I mean you've seen the Call of Duty versions of the Turtles. This new Donatello looks kind of like that Call of Duty version. So it also kind of looks like Injustice.
Yeah. I like. I mean, but to be honest with you, they're actually coming out with the figures for the Fortnite ones too.
Yeah, and those are great designs. They look so much like those Joy Toy versions.
Yeah, those. I mean, the Call of Duty. I mean, they look cool and everything, but I mean,
I don't play the game. I don't know.
I don't know why they're in Call of Duty along with Beavis and Butthead. So I mean,
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, Beavis and Butthead got a Mondo release as well. So,
Yeah.
good call, Eric. Yeah, it's like they're right there. They're hitting us in that '90s nostalgia.
yeah, they're trying to.
93. Yeah.
Trying to.
Well, it's good. I'm glad that we're seeing some of this stuff because it's it's like sometimes you just get like stale and I feel like it's amazing that we're getting a Garfello, like the Garfield one. Like
Yeah.
I bought the plush as soon as I saw that thing. I'm like, this is amazing. So
That was my favorite Turtles reveal at Comic Con.
nice.
just because I was so surprised by it. Like when I walked up to that case and saw that, I was like I felt like I had to have known that was coming because of that plush that you just talked about. Like I saw
Yeah.
that plush, and
Kid Robot.
I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh, a figure can't be far behind if they're doing a plush. And then sure enough, there it was. And it's just such a weird, amazing deep cut that they were able to like make a figure of. I love it.
I look at some of the weirder stuff and I always blame Aaron Hazari. And I say, I bet Aaron did this. I bet Aaron did that,
Totally.
That's just the whole thing. Like and I was listening to your video where they were talking about like the like Visit Swamp shirt with like the palm tree on it, and I'm like, yep, Eric is or Aaron is just hilarious.
Was
So
Aaron. Yeah, that was Aaron. Yeah. I love that slash too because he's got the two different shoes on. He's wearing like a flip.
yeah, it's got that kind of classic look to it.
It feels like such a classic Turtles thing, right? They've always got like one shoe where it's like the toes are busting out of it, or
I think that's the Ryan Brown influence, where like Ryan Brown said you always had to have this, and then it got to like Dan Berger said you always have to do it like that now. So it's like those were the two guys that are like, yeah, it's just got to be like this. So
yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
that's so much fun. No, I mean, so the book sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to get in on this. One thing that we always like to ask our guests about, because we're talking about Ninja Turtles, we got to talk about pizza. I know you're another Illinois guy and all that with pizza. What's your favorite topping on pizza?
Ooh, favorite topping. So
And it could be deep dish or it could be thin crust. It could be any way that you like it.
yeah, I prefer just like a regular old hand tossed. Honestly, like deep dip is great. Chicago style's nice every now and then, but I
Yeah,
like
it's a once in a while thing.
it's like a casserole more than it is a pizza.
It is, yeah. It's a casserole with sauce on it.
Detroit style deep dishes.
I like Detroit style too, man. I'm with you.
Work.
I'm with you. That nice crust on the outside, but this is Dan. Let's hear what Dan likes.
I like a nice hand tossed pizza, and I've always been a big fan of chicken on pizza.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I like a lot of meats too. So like chicken and bacon and pepperoni and sausage, like pile that on top of a pizza. It's like all that protein.
Okay. All right. So like a
Yeah.
meat lover's pizza with some chicken on it and all that. That sounds kind of like that one that we had at Granite, Eric, a little bit. Yeah, that's good. And now the inevitable question, Eric. Would you like to ask him?
Yeah, the pineapple on pizza. What do you think about that? Crime or not crime?
I'm not a fan of it.
All right. Hey, you're loving this one because he said Raph and no pineapple. So this the point's going to you, Eric, on this one.
I'm winning right now. I love it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. No, I definitely like pizza. Some of our former guests, including the Shredder, Francois Chow, likes it. So but you are definitely in the other category of folks that don't like pineapple. So that's okay. Yeah.
Warm pineapple. I'm not into warm pineapple. I don't know what it is. I've tried.
Eric he can't get past it. So I'd say you can nice and you can grill it and then you can put it on it. But so I don't know.
I've grilled it before too. I've grilled it. I put it on hamburger. I put it on like cheeseburgers and stuff and hamburgers or whatever. And I don't
You don't like
understand.
it? Yeah. I get it. It's fine. It's the thing. Eric, what kind of questions do you have for Dan? Do you have any questions about his book or Masters of the Universe, which we've talked about a lot? I know.
I really just lost them too. So variance. I don't know. If anybody knows anything about variance, it's definitely me. When it comes to the last Ronin, what is like one of the most rarest variant that you have ever held in your hand?
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh man.
It can't be. It doesn't have to be turtles or anything like that. I mean, if it's a prototype or something like that, I mean, whatever it is, just what is it that I mean, you obviously you've been around toys a lot, so I mean that's a huge thing. But what is the rarest thing that you've ever held in your hand?
The rarest thing I've ever held in my hand. That is tough. So are we talking like prototypes and stuff too, or like an actual variant of something that's been released?
I guess dealer's choice, right? You're
We'll go dealer's choice on that. I mean, it's up. The rarest thing that you've ever had. It doesn't matter if it's money wise. That meant a lot to you. How about that?
Okay, so
Wanted to hold on to.
Oh, this is tough. Okay, I'm gonna go with it's gonna be Masters of the Universe. All right.
okay.
So, I've got a couple of really, really pretty rare pieces in my collection that I'm pretty proud of having. I think I have two. I'm gonna throw out two. Okay. Number one, I have a carded 8-back, which is like original release He-Man from Takara, because it came out in Japan. And so
No kidding. Okay.
distributed by Takara. Super rare. Like those are just like not out there. And this is carded, has the Takara logo on it. It is one
Wow.
of my guys, like that's my baby, man, because it's like one of my all-time favorite figures, and it's like a really rare carded version of it. I love it so
Nice.
much. And then the other one is probably the striped tail Battle Cat. If you're not aware, Battle Cat, I don't know how many are out there, but there's not very many. The speculation is that it's like an early market version. They painted stripes on the tail and very quickly removed that paint app. So most Battle Cats you see, and like 99.9% of Battle Cats you find just have a straight green tail. But there are a handful of them out there with yellow stripes, and I have one. And it's Battle Cat's one of my all-time favorite toys ever. So
Nice.
that's like one of my favorite pieces. I love that toy so much.
Did you have the bouncing Battle Cat as a kid?
I didn't have it as a kid, but I have it now. My kids have it.
Yeah. I remember getting that in 1984. So I remember. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I didn't know that existed when I was a kid, but when I was a collector, I found out about it. And when I, like, literally when I found out my wife and I were expecting our first kid, I was like, I must own Bouncing Battle Cat for my child.
Yeah.
My child will have Bouncing Battle Cat. So I got it. So both of my kids have played with it now.
That's so fantastic. Oh my God. We're gonna have you on again so we could talk more about toys. But I mean, this has been a blast. Like just learn about the book. I'm gonna put the book up so folks can see it. The book is called Pixel Dan Presents the Toys of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1988 through 1993. And spoiler alert, we found out there's going to be a second volume, but obviously it says volume 1. You'd think there's going to be a volume 2. So, but
I was going to say, I'll address that real quick too, because I've had a lot of people ask me, like, why would you cut it off there? And the answer is, do you know how many toys are in that original toy line? There's a lot of toys. That toy line went for like a decade, and this book right here is already over 600 pages. I could not fit the entire toy line in one book doing it the way we're doing it. So it just made sense to break it up into 2 volumes. But we were already working on all of it. So as long as this one sells, hint, hint, we will be rolling right out with volume 2 probably next year, right after it. So that way you'll have the full vintage toy line in a 2-volume set. And then if there's interest, I can always keep going with another volume. We can go into 2K3 or whatever.
Oh, wow.
You gotta see, you guys gotta show me how much you want it by buying this book.
Now, I've seen the link for the pre-order on Facebook, but I've also seen it on shop.thepower, then -con.com/collections. So you can check it out there. So I think the website is power-con.
You can get to it there, or you can just go to toysoftmnt.com, and that goes straight to the actual book sale. Yeah, but it's hosted through the PowerCon website because my partner on the book, Val Staples, also runs PowerCon, so we already had a storefront set up there. It was just easier to like build
even better
the Turtles book sales through the already existing store site. So the pre-orders, it's important to know that the pre-orders run through August 17th because this is when we need to make sure we have our minimum so we know what to send to the printers to get printed. So I would really, really urge you to pre-order it. That would help us out a ton to pre-order it now to be able to get the book printed. And John's variant guide that we're talking about, as well as a special edition version of this, which has got like a faux leather green bound book. It's beautiful.
Very sharp looking, yeah.
You want to get that. So that one and the variant guide are pre-order exclusive. So those are made to order. So if you want either of those versions, you gotta pre-order them because we're doing those made to order. So please pre-order, spread the word, let everybody know about these. I would really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate you on, and folks, you can check out our pizza recipe next. I'm going to do that right after we say goodbye to our guest. But you can be sure to follow him at Pixel Dan on YouTube. That's Pixel-Dan, or at Pixel Dan on Instagram. And with that, we'll let you go, and I'll be right back with your pizza recipe of the day.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time.
And now for your pizza recipe of the day, white pizza with broccolini. Serves about 4. Ingredients: 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil plus more for drizzling. 1 pound pizza dough at room temperature. 8 ounces ricotta cheese, about 1 cup. 2 cups of shredded part skim mozzarella cheese. 1/2 cup grated Parmesan cheese. 1/4 cup grade Pecorino Romano cheese. Pinch of red pepper flakes, kosher salt, and freshly ground black pepper. 8 scallions, greens sliced, whites cut into 1 1/2 inch pieces. 1/4 cup chopped fresh herbs such as mint, parsley, dill, or basil. 2 bunches of broccolini, halved lengthwise and roughly chopped. Step 1. Position the rack in the lower third of the oven. Place the pizza stone or inverted baking sheet on the rack and preheat the oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Cover another inverted baking sheet with parchment paper and brush with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Put pizza dough on the oiled parchment and turn to coat. Cover with another piece of parchment paper and set it aside. Step 2. Mix the 4 cheeses, red pepper flakes, salt, and pepper to taste in a bowl. Combine the scallion greens and herbs in another bowl. Toss the broccolini and scallion whites on a baking sheet with the remaining 1 tablespoon of olive oil, salt, and pepper to taste. Roast for 15 minutes. Step 3. Uncover the dough, stretch into a 12 by 16 inch rectangle. Season with salt and pepper, then slide the dough on the parchment paper onto the hot stone. Bake until golden, about 6 to 8 minutes. Step 4. Slide the crust on the parchment paper back into the baking chute and remove from the oven. Top with the cheese mixture, then roasted vegetables and herb mixture. Return the pizza to the oven and bake until the cheese melts, about 3 more minutes. Drizzle with olive oil, then cut and serve. Pro tips: broccolini is often confused with broccoli rabe, but they're not the same. Broccolini is less bitter. For extra flavor, season your pizza dough with salt and pepper before adding toppings. And that's your pizza recipe for today, dudes. White pizza with broccolini.
Cowabunga, dudes!
Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, Mirage Studios, IDW Studios, Archie Comics, or Nickelodeon Studios. This podcast is a member of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Check out thedorkening.com for other podcasts.
This podcast is also a member of the Collector's Maze Podcast Network. Check them out at collectorsmazenetwork.com.
Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper and Eric Will.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite seems trying to say is that on Retro Red Octopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Bridge.
You can listen to Retro Red Octopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
It took me 10 years to make the perfect man cave.
And then we took it over. And we made it into the multiversal chamber.
Then I started my own podcast.
And we took that over too. And we're the co-hosts, the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah, and I'm the dad, the geeky dad. And every week, we what?
We review the movies, shows, and books, games, and toys.
Yeah, and sometimes we even have a special guest. So, join us every week on the Geeky Dad Podcast.
Hello, intrepid listeners. This is the Generation Playlist Podcast, a podcast about music where we are your guides through a particular group or artist.
We talk about the music, and then we make a customized playlist to share with you, our listener. And you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and find our playlists on Spotify.
Epic Tales from the Sewers is a new member of the Collector's Maze Network for all things geek. Check out other shows such as The Realmcast, The Creature Designer, The Evil Squid Comics, Eat, Drink, and Game, Road Tripvia, Collector's Maze Podcast, The Cosplay Club, Click On, Journey Through Lego Builds, House of Geekery, Floor Access, Cartridge in a Quest, Cost to Read, Avalon Universe, and Scooby Addicts.